Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.
Hello and welcome to the Radical Racing Challenge live on Apex Racing TV. My name is Sam Fitzpatrick. I am joined by Andrew Woodhouse and Tyler Campbell. Marco Barbanera is operating the cameras for us tonight, and we are just moments away from the launch here at Sonoma for this week 5 of the championship. And the grid for this one is Josh Cam and Manu Ray Olago on the pole position. Just a few more moments to grid up. Woody, pleasure to have you back. Sonoma, you've commentated a fair few races around this circuit. Very undulating, very fun, lots of long radius corners. Should be a good race.
Yeah, good evening everybody, welcome. It's a brilliant circuit, isn't it? It's settled in the California, in the undulating territory, in the dry, barren landscape. But yeah, some tight corners, some off-camber stuff, some blind corners. We're going to see a lot of interesting action, and there's some good overtaking spots as well, if you're brave.
Exactly, we are on the longest version of this circuit, so of course we've got the kind of NASCAR layouts and then also the infield as well. As the lights are coming on then, about 25 minutes of racing. Cam from the pole position. It's an awesome start for Olago. There's contact just in the background, and there's going to be a huge pile-up surely because it really is narrowing down that pit straight, and that could be many drivers out on the spot immediately. There is absolutely a graveyard there on the front stretch, but it's Olago who got an absolutely awesome getaway. Dalladone, championship leader, is into the wall, and that's it for him. No points for him tonight, and that could really widen things here. But it's Olago, the car number 1, leading the way at the moment. Cam in second place. Good start for Vitsons, up a couple of places. Great start for Scott Lear as well, up 6 places. So too Kyriakopoulos. But wow, Tyler, that was a real chaotic start.
No doubt. I mean, just an amazing beginning to the duel in the desert here with these radicals. Amazing that a lot of those mid-pack drivers were able to take advantage of some of that wreckage there at the beginning. Moving up, I mean, it's stellar to see how many people have gotten more than 5 positions already, and we're only making it through this turn as we see a couple of cars here in the mid-pack fighting wheel to wheel, trying to get the advantage of track position over their competitors.
Yeah, that was Aldridge running a little bit wide on that occasion. And the top 2 getting away a little bit. Vitsons by himself in 3rd position. Cam, who took pole position, who is a multiple race winner in this series, hasn't had a good season whatsoever, has Josh. But he's looking very speedy at the moment, and he's always got underneath Olago here. And Cam moving his car ahead, but they are alongside, hanging on to lap 2.
They rapidly approach turn 1 here. We're going to have Josh Cam take the long way around, try to get a good run going up into turn 2. Holding it together tight on the rear of Olago. Let's see if he can make something going down into the backside of the track.
I mean, that's going to be his best opportunity, most likely heading into turn 1, maybe the hairpin as well. And around this part of the circuit, real tricky to follow in these Radical SR8 machines. A lot of turbulent air, and not a massive toe effect, which was very much nerfed at the start of the season. Gonzalez just getting past Leah, by the way, may have just seen that pop up on the timing tower on the left. So a slight change of position there, but these two still ever so close into the heaven. This is the other good overtaking opportunity. Cam wasn't close enough. He will have to wait behind as they head into the S's section. 7 places game for Hessman. So far the retirees from this one: Castles, Taylor, Bedard, and of course Dalladone. Car number 3, Dalladone, the 3rd highest iRacing driver, qualifying poorly once again. And this time he's not able to make much of progress, as Cam isn't able to make much progress. Olago with a bit more comfort at the end of this lap compared to the end of the first one.
Mr. Tommy Wittens trying to stay in range of the 2 leaders here. Only guy within really a fighting chance with a 31 flat as his last lap. Leaders in front of him were at a 29. New times come in with a 24.37 for Mr. Cam and a 25 flat for Mr. Wittens. He's got to push hard if he wants to stay in this race for a 1st or 2nd position. Looks like maybe a 3rd place podium may be all he's good for, depending on how things shake out.
Yeah, I think that's most likely what's going to happen for Vitsons. Easy to make mistakes though here at Sonoma, as we see a replay of what happened. So actually it was Dalladone's best qualifying of the season. He's qualified outside the top 10 and managed to get into the top 4 in the first 3 races of the season. This time he qualified much higher up, but it was the place not to be. A little bit of contact there, but I think it's later on that really gets bad for Dalladone. maybe it was the damage he'd already picked up, which was curtains for him. Yeah, just could not turn the car on that occasion. And into the walls. I believe it was Ant Castles. He was stationary just in front of him. Castles also out of the race. So shame for Castles as well, who won last time at Bathurst, his first ever win in the strength of field race. That's absolutely dreadful news there. Hesterman going to take the off track, seemingly understeering, although maybe he's got a problem in the real world there. Very much of a shame for a driver who gained a lot of places on the start.
Yeah, really a shame for Daladane to get the rear end of that other Radical there who's sleeping on the start. It's always really frustrating when you get a good qualifying position, you get a good jump, as it's so hard to get off a line with these cars, and then to have it just all kind of go to dust with immediate contact, not even to the start-finish line yet.
Yes, such a shame for him. And of course the others as well, who are way further back, who had absolutely zero chance on the features of the Sonoma circuit. Very expensive on the most parts, and then that pit straight, the walls are completely crowding the circuit. Really no escape if you have an instant like that. Olago is just easing away at the moment from Cam, and this is concerning, I'm sure, for Josh. For the championship, it's not too important. There's only 3 points, I believe, from first position to second position, but the race win in this strength of field race is always what the drivers are going for. It's quite a big deal. It's very tricky to take one. And of course, with no Kane Halliburton around tonight to challenge, there's a slightly open opportunity for one of these drivers to get a rare race victory. George Streetley is a driver who we don't usually see too much.
And I was going to say that is a profile picture and a half, isn't it? Can we get that back up on the screen? Can we? Look at that. I mean, cons are the innocent victims of motorsport, and we see it yet again there. He's in 5th place, though. He's going quite well. He's only 9/10 behind Kagide.
I'm trying to think of a pun with those cones, but I feel like anything I can think of it shouldn't really go out on air. So
we've got another 10 laps left, so you've got time. This is Leah right behind Gonzalez, and he's going to go for the inside here. Is Leah into the long left-hander, and very difficult corner that, Tyler. It's one of those where you always think you can get on the power a little bit earlier than you actually can.
Yeah, and it'll always catch you out too if you go on the inside with how much, aerodynamics these cars utilize in order to turn and rotate the car. When you're the following car, try to take the inside line is not going to really work out well for you. You're going to just have no wind on your nose. It's going to be pushing real hard. And then, of course, when you try to transition to throttle, there's no air going over your rear. And so it's just asking for your spin. You can actually see he struggled a lot trying to keep up with him and now has a small gap.
So tricky round really 80% of the circuit. Such long radius corners around this place. I mean, even this part of the circuit, easy flat through turn 1, and then once you get into 2 and 3, tightening up. Cam with a good lap there, fastest lap of the race, and does gain a little bit more as well through the first sector. It's just going to take one mistake from Olago, and Cam's really got to be there to pick up the pieces. We're about a third the way through this race. You can see the awesome graphics provided by SDK Gaming, the graph in the bottom right. Absolutely love it. Love the graph. As Leah just glancing up the inside, can't quite make it, but of course SDK Gaming providing our brilliant overlay, which you can see up on screen. Also provides live timing as well, which is absolutely essential for us commentators to have an idea of what's going on out on circuit. And the great thing with SDK Gaming is the amount of customization you can do to the overlay. You can make it look however you want, as Leah might be gaining a position here, and he does. So do make sure to go to sdk-gaming.co.uk to see if you can get a 14-day free trial, as yet Leah is up into 8th position.
Massive amount of opposite lock that he had to apply coming out of the slow corner and through this really excellent section in the Radical, with the Radical being, as Tyler was saying, quite it's got a fair bit of downforce on it. These sweeping S's, very, very good indeed. Gonzalez again struggling under braking, going a little bit deep, but Could have been intentional, gentlemen, because he's got a good run out of the corner, quite good enough to challenge Lear up into the top of the course here at turn 2. Ooh, went a bit wide again, Gonzalo.
Just driving in a bit deep, it seems. And he has to stay put. Expect Lear to be able to pull away, but I don't know, Gonzalez, as you're saying, Woody, did look very racy at the back end of that lap after losing the position. Vitsen's still a bit by himself in 3rd position, matching Khajiit on that last lap. 8-tour Joe, who don't usually see too much in the race, so doing very well up there in 4th place. Still the leaders very close. This could be a move happening very soon. Suter versus Garcia.
The front left is buckled, isn't it, on the on Garcia's car? Was he involved in the first lap? I unfortunately missed that. Was he involved with Alessandro, possibly?
I think everyone was involved in the first lap. So probably, yeah.
Rear wing damage as well there, Tyler. It will affect you, of course, through these fast corners. As you can see, he's dropping back slightly.
Yeah, despite changing trading blows, a lot of these drivers are starting to get comfortable and place fastest laps. We're starting to see some consistency out of Cam, Wittens, and Kundelis as they drop some quick times here, 23.7 and a 23.5 out of Wittens and Streetley, really starting to match a lot of these front runners. So I think that if these guys are lucky and these 2 gentlemen in the front, Olargo and Cam, have been fighting enough, maybe shred a little bit of their tires, some of these guys in 3rd through 5th might actually have a good chance at taking a spot on the podium.
Did you see what I saw there, Sam?
Yeah.
Largo was very wide there. He's really pushing.
I mean, how on earth do you keep hold of that one? And of course, yeah, I guess just the profile of the corner helps him a little bit. You can afford to go kind of wide and then tighten up on the exit. But,
the grass is treacherous here as well. It's quite dry. So instead of it being slippy, maybe like grass is in other places, maybe it's a little bit more bitey, but that sometimes makes it worse because sometimes you don't have a nice sliding feeling when you go onto the grass. You have a bit of a wiggle, bit of a death wiggle as such, and yeah, he avoided it that time. But lap 8 completed over half distance then. And a good race so far. Sorry, yeah.
I don't know about you, Andrew, but if I'm Olargo, I am sweating bullets right now. With Cam just so carefully in control, right behind him, staying within almost that half-second margin for the last couple laps. I mean, it's just the amount of control that Cam seems to have, despite the turbulence of the skewed air from Olargo's machine. He's putting down some very consistent, very fast laps and looking very clean while doing it.
Streetley again with his Madonna-esque attire. Can he find a ray of light in terms of an overtaking manoeuvre? But, well, we'll see about that. But as he gets a decent exit behind Khajiit, he's going to have a look. Not close enough there. It would be a bit of a mad attempt, Sam, I think, if he tried that at the hairpin that time.
Yeah, that was a little bit too far back. Poor lap actually for Khajiit on that last time round. He did a 24.3, which is about 6/10 slower than his best lap. He was matching Vitsens for a while, and he's kind of fallen into the clutches of Streetley. Good to see another pure motorsports driver out there. Of course, they always have a couple of drivers in the race. As here he comes. That was extremely close for the number 9, but Khajiit should be able to stay ahead, and it's very tricky to make a move here. You need to have a lot of confidence that where the driver is going to go, as Taylor has headed into the wall, and Paul, I think, might be best to just get that thing back into the pits, honestly, because I don't think he'll be going much further.
He crashed in a good spot, didn't he, to try and get that into the pit lane, and no, he decided to carry on. Yeah, he's going to find out over the next lap or so just how bad that is. Khajiit and Streetley then still battling. There's less than 2/10 between them. I mean, you don't need me to tell you how big the gap is or how small the gap is. You can see it on your screen. And Khajiit hit some of the cones, so Streetley's probably going to be angry about that on the previous lap going to the hairpin. This is Josh, Cam and Olargo then. What are we going to see here? It's at the top of the hill. Oh, sideways! losing the back end for Olargo, and Cam is through. And that there, Tyler, is exactly what you were saying. It was a big pressure situation, and Josh Cam kept applying the pressure until there was a result.
Now, really smart driving there by Cam, not needing to force the pass, knowing it would come to him. Very obvious from the way he was driving behind Olargo. He was very confident that it was just a matter of time before the mistake was made, and there it was. Now, that being said, Olargo still got some speed, so let's see if he can make a comeback here and challenge Cam for the place.
This will be a good replay, I reckon, Sam. This will be just what this camera's intended for. Oh!
Great reactions from Cam.
I'll tell you what, Olargo's done very, very well as well to only lose about 1 second in all that and still be in the race, because that could have easily been a spin for someone with less talent.
Yeah, it definitely can give you the good whip and nay-nay if you're not careful.
Starting off between the two of them, as Kieran Copler's running a bit wide on that occasion, and again picking up some dirt. But yeah, Olargo kind of needs to hope that Cam produces a similar error. That seemingly is the only way to get back into this one. As Kieran Copler, who is up 6 places so far, lapping faster than both Leah and Gonzalez that last time round. So the car number 7 is making progress. As
McDonald's
Stephen
around.
McDonald is round. Coronation Street flashbacks, and he is in 14th place.
Oh dear, yeah. Just got me that bit. I was kind of half expecting to see Halliburton here this weekend, actually. This evening. He's been in a main feature in the first couple of races.
Yeah, he...
You've raced against him quite a lot of times as well, haven't you?
Well, yeah, of course I raced him in the BSR Radical Winter Series, which one of us in this commentary booth won. I won't point out who it was, but...
It wasn't me, because I was commentating on it.
Well, yeah, exactly, yeah. And what a treat for your eyes it was, I'm sure, to see myself clinch that one in this car. So I do have authority to talk about it. But no, quality driver is getting far better than myself. Won the championship last season, but yeah, he's not able to every Friday night. He got away with that last season because he was just so good. But a little bit of a tricky start for him so far this season. Only 1 win out of his first 3 races. And of course, had that disconnect at Brands Hatch from the lead with half a lap to go on the final lap. So no, hope to see him back very soon. But yeah, I think if he was out there, he'd be probably near the front.
Sorry to interrupt, Sam. Yeah, Gonzalez looking very aggressive now behind Leah, trying to get that place back. So it's obvious that they were very evenly matched. I had the pleasure actually during the first lockdown to host the Radical. I've forgotten the name. Radical iRacing Cup or something. He was with sort of the backing of Radical company itself, and we had some of the best races I think I've seen on the channel. We had one at Mosport where 3 or 4 drivers collided on the last lap and ended up with a couple of different leaders and a surprise winner. And this car is just brilliant, isn't it? It's lightweight, it's got a bit of power, it's got a decent amount of grip from the downforce.
This battle for 8th is really heating up. You can see Scott Lear is really struggling to maintain that lap time with Gonzalez breathing down his neck. Only a couple of tenths splitting the 3 of these drivers, Lear, Gonzalez, and Kirakopoulos. 24-3, 24-5, 24-5-7, respectively, going from back to front. I could feel the heat off of the back of Scott's neck as he's just trying everything he can. He actually goes a little bit wide. Gonzalez is going to be able to get some power down. Maybe he's going to be able to challenge going into the hairpin.
Follow closely enough, I think that'll be the key. The fastest laps actually, Tyler, between the 3 of them. Only 2 tenths apart in the fastest laps, so this is a great battle between 3 drivers. Very similar ability, it looks like. And again, Gonzalez later on the brakes, Sam, than his rivals. Didn't quite work that time, but he is close enough still to be filling the mirrors of Scott Lear.
Yeah, he's just probably counting down the corners right now. That's super close again. Gonzalo he's driving in the car very deep for each of these corners and kind of getting it stopped. But Leah, of course, with the Constantino effect, constantly getting on the power that little bit earlier, extending the gap, and he has got a tiny bit of a cushion, Leah, so that will be very good news for himself. May well be using, because the tuition from Virtual Racing School, Pablo Lopez is actually the driver tutor over at Virtual Racing School for this car, and he is a terrific driver in this car. He won the championship a couple of seasons ago. He's the most successful driver, I believe, in iRacing history in this Radical SR8. And so if you want to get a little bit faster in this machine, then do check out Virtual Racing School. You'll of course also offer over 50 other data packs for a variety of cars, road racing cars and all types of ranges, and then also the oval cars as well do Virtual Racing School offer. So do certainly check them out. It is a fixed setup, but no, Pablo can certainly teach you some pretty good tricks to get a bit more pace. As Kia Coppolis trying to use them right now, but just fell away slightly at the end of the S's. And so again, couldn't get close enough into the hairpin, as this has got a bit closer against Streetley, right back onto the rear of Kajid.
Yeah, met Pablo a few years ago. A good chat with him in Germany. Josh Streetley trying to find an opening. He's not got long left, only a couple of laps.
You can see him looking up the inside and running just a slightly offline, trying to make as much use of the aerodynamics as possible to get a good run and hold that minimum speed. I expect we'll see him run a different line going into the wider hairpin here as they approach this upcoming corner. He's going to have a lot of souk, a lot of extra oomph coming through this corner. Maybe he'll run a little wide, try to get a little bit more of a run out of the corner. He puts down the power, and it doesn't look like he's going to be able to get this done unless he can keep right up on the rear through the S's here and make a challenge into the last hairpin leading onto the front straight.
It was interesting how Kajid looked like he was better in the slow corners. It looked like Streetley was able to take slightly tighter lines through this S's section, but he made a slight mistake, got a little bit onto the, took a little bit too much curve. And
and he locks up there in front of him. It looks like Kajid made a mistake, starting to crack under the pressure.
Candelas behind made a bit of an error as well into the hairpin. He's got the white flag, Sam.
Yeah, it's 1.6 seconds. Cam's been able to pull away from Olago. Not much of a difference between the two of them. That mistake from Olago could well be crucial, as Kajid holding on still. He's just got a couple more places to defend. Also Suter going up against Garcia. Garcia with a lot of damage on that car, but he's doesn't know when he's beaten. These two were very evenly matched on the last lap, so this could carry on right to the line. But now, though, it is Suter ahead, but we might have to see if Kajid is able to hold off Streetley, because they're heading into the hairpin at the end of the drag strip for the last time in just a moment.
Yeah, we got Josh Cam, who took his opportunity very, very well indeed. Oh! And Streetley tried everything he could there, but it's going to be Josh Cam, Sam, who's coming through the last few corners. He's going to take the win.
Yeah, he's still got a margin as Cam took pole position. It was a poor start for his standards, but he had the pace, and Olago was able to hound the pressure, and eventually Olago cracked. And Josh Cam, for the first time this season and for the third time in the Strength of Field race, is able to take a race win in the Radical Racing Challenge. Kajid is able to hold off Streetley. I think that is a monumental defence there for his best result in the series in fourth. Streetley on his debut, I believe, finishing in a very strong 5th position. Now Suter going to be able to beat Garcia. Garcia's not going to have the straight line speed, surely, in order to attack. So just a mistake from the Frenchman here would be the only thing that could deny him. It all looks nice and secure for the car number 17. Garcia gets a little bit closer, but Suter will take home 11th place. That was a fun race there, Tyler. But one of the shortest races this season. I think it only lasted about 24 minutes in the end, but Joe's managed to pack a lot in.
Yeah, definitely. It was super action-packed, but Josh was just able to stay cool, calm, and collected to take that win away from Olargo. But many battles there in the midfield. That battle between Streetley and Kajid was just like insane. I can't believe that he was able to hold on to that and hold Streetly off. Streetly trying everything he could to get around. Similar battle there, going for 8th between Lear, Gonzalez, and Kyriakopoulos. Really excellent driving from these guys. Lots of respect, and really a shame to see some of the leaders like Daladane knocked out in that first lap.
That is, in fact. I don't know how he's ended up there, to be honest. Wherever he is. It's in the infield
Side
somewhere.
of the lawn needed to be mowed.
Giving the crowd a bit of a show. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how we can get back onto the course from there, but we'll let him figure that out. So we're going to have the results on the screen. Josh Cam takes the win then by 1.3 seconds. A hard-fought battle with Manu Ray Olago. Tommy Wittens in 3rd gets a little bit of the bump on the podium. Aitor Kajid in 4th, Joe Streetley 5th, Artur Escondelis in 6th, then John Aldridge finished 7th. Scott Lear was 8th from 15th on the grid, actually. That was a good performance. Dennis Kyriakopoulos in 9th, Miguel Gonzalez 10th, Emmanuel Suter 11th, Alex Garcia 12th, Johannes Hesterman 13th. Stephen McDonald was the last driver to finish on the lead lap in 14th. And then we had 4 drivers who were multiple laps down: Robert Woodward, Alessandro Dalladone, Scott Bedard, and Paul Taylor. And Castles didn't take the start, I don't think.
Well, he spun right at the start.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Collided with Dalladane in the end, so...
That'll be why I've got no information for it.
Well, I'm not sure if he even got to the line, so he might be right. I don't think he even got to the green flag, honestly, because he crashed that early on. So, no, big shame for him. By the way, quick shout out to Apex Racing Academy, another sponsor for this broadcast. And Apex Racing Academy providing 29 data packs. They include setups, track guides, weekly group coaching sessions, and also some fantastic setup sync technology as well. So whenever you load into an iRacing session, all the setups are downloaded for you straight away. You don't have to go onto the website and download them from there. You literally load in and all the setups are there magically. It's super easy to use, and it's fantastic as well to use for your virtual racing school setups, as see Taylor almost heading on to the drag strip at the start of the race. We should get some interviews with the drivers, and we are going to have the privilege actually of having some. So first up, we're going to have a talk with our runner-up tonight, Manu Ray Olago. Manu, congratulations on that P2, but I imagine you're a little bit frustrated you didn't get the win.
Yeah, thank you guys. It was a complicated race because I was watching right now the last laps of Josh. I'm watching 23.3.4.4. I don't know how he can do it because my tires were toasted after a pair of mistakes, but we're still looking for the victory.
Was it because of the tires that you had that kind of half spin?
Yeah, it could be. Could be because after that I was feeling the car lost on the rear, and then Josh is extremely fast. I don't know how he can do it, but I think after that middle spin I went down. So I think that was the reason.
We had a great showing of speed tonight. I imagine that even under perfect conditions, having Josh just right behind you with how in control he seemed to be, I bet that was just such an intimidating factor, especially going into the hairpin. It looked like it was really hard to just keep those tires from preventing to be locked up. How do you deal with that kind of stress of a faster driver behind you?
Yeah, I knew that in the last corner he was fast. Maybe he could throw a send, but I was only in that curve to look him. But in other parts of the track, I thought that I was faster, but the draft and that he's fast, he catch me as well. So congrats to him for the victory.
Well, congratulations to you as well. I mean, you had a great performance today. It's something you should definitely be proud of.
Yeah, thank you. After a couple of weeks with no racing, because a lot of work here, I'm happy to be here again with you guys, and maybe in the podium and look into the victory someday.
Next week, Manu, we're heading to Hockenheim. That'll be the first time that the Radical Series has gone to Hockenheim, I think. So, what are you thinking about that one?
Yeah, it's a really good track. I like it, but it's going to be tough because the draft and the longer straights are going to be complicated, but I think we are going to be there.
Awesome. Well, before we let you go, Manu, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, thank you to you guys, like always, and to my team, Odox, to every guys, to Josh for the victory, and Tommy for the third place.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having a chat with us, Manu, and we'll see you back next time.
Thank you, guys.
So that was Manu Ray Olago, your second place man tonight. Woody, would you like to have a chat with Tommy Vittens?
Yeah, let's go. All right, well, Tommy Witters joins us in the commentary box. Tommy, welcome, mate. Third place. You must be quite happy with that one, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm very happy with it. Thank you guys for having me.
So, a little bit of a lonely race, but I think sometimes if you have a bit of a lonely race and finish third, it's quite good. It calms you down a little bit, I think.
Yeah, that's true. I started fifth. I thought fifth on the grid. At the start, my start was just amazing. Got into third place right away. But the first lap was just sketchy. I don't know what happened there because I lost the car almost in turn 4. But kept it on track and just kept going. And then yeah, it was kind of not a boring race because it's a fun track, but yeah, in no man's land, to be honest.
What would you consider to be the hardest part of this Sonoma circuit? You know, we talked about blind corners, we talked about the long radius corners. What would you say?
I think turn 1 is key in this track. If you get that right, your lap time. For me in practice, my lap times were always good when turn 1 was good. So I think turn 1 is quite tricky.
And speaking of tricky turn 1s, as Sam mentioned, we're going to Hockenheim next time. That turn 1 is quite scary at times. How do you plan on tackling that famous German circuit?
I've never raced in a radical, so I have to find out.
Excellent, and we all will as well, same time next week here on Apex Racing TV. Tommy, congratulations. Do you want to send any shout-outs or any hellos to anybody?
To you guys, for one, and Aaron Baba for not making it this week. And the podium, Josh. Strong pace for Josh and Manu. Congrats to them.
All right, well, perfect. Thank you very much for joining us, Tommy, and we'll see you. Hopefully, we'll get a chance to chat to you at Hockenheim.
So too. See you next week.
Well, Sam, I think the podium finish is very happy with that, and I think they should be as well. It's always an achievement if you can get through Sonoma unscathed.
Exactly. Yeah, we did see quite a few incidents on that first lap, but after that, drivers were very high quality of driving throughout, I thought. Unfortunately, and thanks to Josh for letting me know about this, apparently his mic is broken, hence why he hasn't come to have a chat with us. He usually does, but yeah, not able to have a chat with us. But I'm sure he's very proud with that third race win in the strength of field race. Tyler, of course, we've mentioned it before, but Hockenheim next up, a circuit where these cars can kind of stretch their legs, I imagine. I mean, the drivers were kind of struggling to make overtakes tonight, but into that turn 6 hairpin, I think we might see quite a few of them next time out.
Yeah, it'll be a very interesting difference of tracks. I imagine that very high downforce packages were used for the ups and downs, the roller coaster that is Sonoma. Whereas on Hockenheim, you've got a lot more straights and some more fluid corners that you may not necessarily need as much downforce with, and you might want to go for a lower downforce package to try to get advantage into that turn 6. But of course, there's compromises everywhere, so it'll be really interesting to see what kind of added spice that brings, especially when it comes to choosing a different strategy.
Yeah, sure will do. Yes, it will be fantastic action next time out. And I mean, Woody, of course, I I guess you've seen a couple of the races this season with this incident for Vidal tonight, with Castles not scoring. I mean, it's, we may as well have got rid of the first 4 meetings of the season, honestly, because I think the score's going to be pretty much level heading into round 5.
Such a close championship. Sorry, Tyler.
Yeah. No, you're good. Definitely exciting. I mean, just thinking about how many chances are going to be had here with so much of the championship left. All's still on the table to fight for. And definitely you can see and hear how hungry these guys are with how they're talking about pace and how tenacious they are on track.
Absolutely. It's going to be awesome to see what happens in the next chapter of the season at Hockenheim next time out. Of course, I'll be on at the same time next week, of course, as are all of these radical strength of field races every Friday night on Apex Racing TV. And if you're watching on YouTube, this isn't the only way to watch these streams. You can check out our Twitch channel as well, if that's the place that you prefer to watch your broadcasts. And you can also check out little highlights of each of our races, or snippets and the best bits of each race over on our social media platforms as well, on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. Last week we humiliated Alessandro Daldane with his failed jump over Bathurst, where he really embarrassed himself and his nation, frankly, with his failed attempt on that one. So for content like that, and also of course fantastic finishes, fantastic overtakes, do check out our social media platforms. Make sure to leave a like on this video as well if you've enjoyed it. And of course we've got over 20 broadcasts every single week on Apex Racing TV coming up, so make sure to give the channel a subscribe. But for now, from myself, Sam Fitzpatrick, from Tyler Campbell, from Andrew Woodhouse and from Marco Barbanero, we are going to say goodbye, and we will see you next time out at Hockenheim.